Can I challenge one of the biggest ideas in personal growth? You do not need to go looking for what's wrong with you. I don't think you need to spend hours digging through your past, trying to find the next wound to heal. In fact, that's one of the reasons so many people become overwhelmed by healing, by this journey. Imagine you've been standing in your room. The light is on. You've started letting go of things that no longer belong. And now you're wondering, what's next? Most people will start searching. I don't. I pray. Every morning, I ask one simple question. Show me what I'm ready to release today. And then I go live my life. Because here's what I've discovered. Life is already trying to help you heal. The question is, are you paying attention? Stay with me. Because I think this is one practice that has the potential to completely change the way you think about your own healing journey. Hello, and welcome to the Aligned Human Project. If you've been with me over the past few weeks, we've been really walking through a journey together. First, we turned on the light. Then we stepped into the room, or at least to the threshold. Then we began asking, who am I without what I've been carrying? And today we're taking the next step. Because once you stop trying to fix everything, a new question will naturally start to arise. How do I know what to work on next? My answer surprises a lot of people. I don't think you have to go looking. Actually, I know you don't. I know life is already showing you. For years, I thought healing meant searching my childhood, searching my memories, ripping it all up, searching for the next limiting belief, searching for the next breakthrough. I was doing, and it was exhausting. Then one day I realized something. What if healing isn't a treasure hunt? What if it's a conversation? A co-creative relationship between you and life, between you and the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it, between you and the deepest intelligence that's always been trying to move you towards wholeness. That changed everything. Now my mornings begin differently. I pause. I become very present. And I pray. Show me. Show me what I'm ready to release today. Not everything, just today. That's all I need. Because I trust that if I'm ready, life is going to reveal it. This might sound deeply spiritual, but it also aligns with how our brains work. Once we direct our attention towards something, our brain begins to notice what was already there. Psychologists call this selective attention. You've experienced it before. You can buy a certain car, and suddenly you see that car everywhere. The cars weren't newly created. Your awareness changed. The same thing happens when you begin your day asking, show me. Show me what I'm ready to release. Your attention becomes available to notice the moments that matter. Not because the universe suddenly starts speaking. Trust me, it's been speaking. It's because you're finally listening. And when you combine that openness with a regulated nervous system and a genuine curiosity, ordinary moments become extraordinary teachers. Imagine you've prayed, show me what I'm ready to release. Later that day, someone cuts you off in traffic. Your body tightens. Your anger rises. You want to react. In the past, that moment was simply an annoyance. Now, it's information. Or maybe your partner offers you feedback and immediately you become defensive. Or a coworker gets a promotion and jealousy appears. Actually, it'd be envy. Or someone asks for help. And before they've even finished the sentence, you've already said yes. Not because you wanted to, because that's the identity you've been carrying. Life didn't create those reactions. Life revealed them. The trigger wasn't the problem. The trigger became the flashlight, the switch at least. And once you begin seeing triggers this way, like a switch for the light, everything changes. Because now you're no longer asking, why is this happening to me? You're asking, what is this showing me about what's still in my room? That's where I'd like us to go next. This is where triggers are often misunderstood. Most people think a trigger is something we want to avoid. I do not. I think a trigger is information. I know it is. It's like gently pointing towards something that's still sitting in the room. And here's a funny example. A few months ago, during a morning practice, I asked a simple question. What's in my way? What do I need to become aware of and work on that next? That was it. No drama, no expectations, just genuine curiosity. So I get in my vehicle, start driving, put on an audiobook about the 5 elements. The author was talking about the wood element, my dominant element, and mentioned that when out of alignment, wood energy can hold grudges. I actually laughed to myself. I don't think that's me. Literally, just moments later, I turned a corner and there was a bus stopped at an intersection. And on the back of that bus was a woman's face. A woman who had been deeply disrespectful to me about probably 12, 15 years earlier. Without even thinking, I rolled my eyes and then caught myself. I looked back at the road, burst out laughing, and said out loud, got it. I guess grudges are what we're working on next. Isn't that beautiful? That's how this works. Life didn't suddenly create a grudge. Life revealed one that had been quietly sitting in the room over a decade. Ridiculous. The boss became, well, the switch for the flashlight. Not because the universe was punishing me, because I asked to see. And once I saw it, I had a choice. I could defend it, and I'm good at it. Or I could thank life for answering my prayer, and in that moment, change the way I think about healing forever. There's actually a fascinating reason experiences like this happen. Our brains are constantly filtering information. Every second, we're exposed to far more sights, sounds, conversations, and sensations than we could ever consciously process. So the brain prioritizes what seems most relevant. Once you've asked an intentional question, your attention changes. You begin noticing experiences that were always available but previously invisible. At the same time, your nervous system reveals emotional patterns through your reactions. The event itself isn't the lesson. Your reaction is. That's why I often say triggers don't create your conditioning. Triggers reveal your conditioning. They're mirrors, not verdicts. They're invitations, not interruptions. The more awareness you bring to a trigger, the more choice becomes available. And that's where alignment begins. This is one of the reasons I love working through the lens of the 5 elements. Not because they put us in a box, because they help us recognize the kinds of patterns our nervous system naturally defaults toward. A wood element might notice control, frustration, or resentment. A fire expression may become aware of approval seeking or fear of disconnection. An earth expression may recognize overgiving, rescuing, or difficulty receiving support. A metal expression may notice perfectionism, criticism, or relentless pursuit of getting everything right. Whereas a water expression may discover hesitation, withdrawal, or the instinct to stay small and stay safe. Different expressions, same invitation. Every trigger is simply asking you one thing. Does this still belong in your room? Not with judgment, but with curiosity. Because awareness without compassion becomes self-criticism. But awareness with compassion becomes transformation. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you open your email or your social media, before the world starts telling you who it needs you to be, pause and just take one slow breath all the way down to your belly. Place your hand on your heart, if that feels right, and simply ask, show me what I'm ready to release today. Then trust life enough to give it to you. Don't hunt for answers. Don't analyze every interaction. Don't force anything. Just stay awake. Because somewhere today, someone will say something. Something won't go your way. A feeling will arise. An old reaction will knock on the door. And instead of thinking, ugh, here we go again, smile and then whisper, thank you. Thank you. Because life just answered your prayer. The trigger is not your enemy. It's your teacher. And that's where I'd like to leave you before we bring everything together. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is learning to ask better questions. Because the questions we ask determine the reality we begin creating. When something difficult happens, most of us immediately ask, why is this happening to me? It's an understandable question. I've just found that it rarely leads to freedom. Instead, I'd like to offer you a different sequence. The moment something triggers you, pause. Become aware. Notice your heart, the beat, your body, and then ask, what is this showing me? Not about the other person, about me. What belief just got activated? What identity just got threatened? What story just got bumped? And then ask the question I ask my clients and my team all the time. What's the opportunity? Because every obstacle carries one. Every trigger carries one. Every difficult conversation carries one. Every disappointment carries one. The obstacle isn't standing in your way. Very often, it's showing you the way. And finally, ask yourself, what will alignment choose now? Can you feel the difference? We're no longer reacting. We're participating. We're responding. That's the practice. So let's put everything together. An event happens. You notice your reaction. Awareness turns on the light. Instead of automatically reacting, you pause. And then you ask, what is this showing me? Then, what's the opportunity? And finally, what will alignment choose? One conscious choice. That's all. Just one choice changes one moment. One moment changes a pattern. A repeated pattern changes an identity. A new identity begins expressing a different reality. That's how lives change. Not one dramatic breakthrough, but through thousands of ordinary moments where awareness becomes choice. So tomorrow morning, before your feet hit the floor, I'd love for you to try something. Take one slow breath. Become very present and simply pray. Show me. Show me what I'm ready to release today. Then go live your life. Trust that whatever appears today is not random. Maybe it's a difficult email. Maybe it's an impatient driver. Maybe it's the conversation you have been avoiding. Maybe it's the old memory that suddenly comes back. Maybe it's seeing someone's face on the back of a bus 12 to 15 years later after they hurt you. Whatever it is, don't rush past it. Don't judge yourself. Don't make yourself wrong. Smile. And remember, you asked to be shown, and life is simply answering. This is also why I love the 5 elements. They remind us that consciousness expresses itself through different energetic patterns. Each element will notice different opportunities. Wood may be invited to soften some control. Fire may be invited to stand in authenticity instead of approval. Earth may be invited to receive instead of always giving. And metal may be invited to embrace progress instead of perfection. Whereas water may be invited to take one courageous step instead of waiting for certainty. Different invitations, same journey. Every one of them leading us back toward alignment. As we finish today, I want to leave you with one final thought. I don't believe life is happening to you. I believe life is continually inviting you into a deeper alignment. Every trigger, every relationship, every single disappointment, every celebration, every obstacle, every unexpected moment, they're all asking the same question. Will you choose from survival? Will you react? Or will you choose from the witness? Will you respond? That's the practice. Not once, every single day for the rest of your life. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do it perfectly. You get to reserve the right to be human. You simply have to remain willing to turn on the light, willing to step into the room, willing to release what no longer belongs, willing to ask better questions, willing to become present enough to notice the opportunity that's been there all along, because awareness reveals, alignment chooses, and creation follows. This week, I'd love to invite you into a simple experiment. Every time you feel yourself becoming triggered, pause. Ask yourself those 4 questions. What is this showing me? What is the opportunity? Who is trying to emerge? It's you. And what will alignment choose? And write your answers down. I think you'll be amazed at what begins unfolding. And if you'd like support identifying the survival strategies that have quietly been shaping your life, your choices, download the free 5 elements assessment below. It's a beautiful place to begin. Life isn't interrupting. Life isn't interrupting your healing. Life is participating in it. The room isn't your prison. It's your classroom. And the trigger isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. The obstacle is not blocking your path. It's revealing it. So tomorrow morning, ask to be shown. Then have the courage to look. Because you are the witness. You shape your field. And your field shapes your life. I'll see you next week.